It is always an honor to have one of our United States Senators speak at commencement. Senator Blunt spoke at our December commencement, and today Senator Claire McCaskill will be our commencement speaker. Senator McCaskill was born in Rolla, Missouri, and spent her childhood in Houston, Missouri, Lebanon, Missouri, and Columbia, where she attended Hickman High School. She received her BA in political science in 1975 and earned her Juris Doctorate from the Missouri School of Law in 1978. In 2006, Senator McCaskill became the first woman elected to the U.S. Senate from Missouri, winning the seat once held by President Harry Truman. Before her election to the Senate, Senator McCaskill served as state auditor, Jackson County prosecutor, and as a member of the Missouri House of Representatives. In the Senate, Senator McCaskill serves as the top-ranking Democrat on the Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee and as senior member of the Armed Services Committee and a member of the Finance Committee. A longtime friend and supporter of Missouri State University, McCaskill has been a champion for Missouri's students on issues of college affordability and accessibility, combating sexual assault, and assuring we are continuing to educate the next generation of leaders. Please join me in welcoming Senator Claire McCaskill to the podium.
Thank you. It is such an honor to be here, and I think the way I was referred to earlier is just the right tone to break up the beginning of the ceremony with a little humor. Yes, I am a senior citizen. You know, commencement speeches are so hard because there's two audiences. So I'm going to just take a moment to speak to one of those audiences, and then I am going to, with your permission, ignore you for the rest of the speech. And that is to the families of these graduates, especially to the parents that are in this arena today. Parenting has never been more difficult. Between my husband and I, we have 7 children and 11 grandchildren, so I think I can speak with authority that parenting is hard. It is fraught with danger. It is expensive. It is heartwarming, and it is life-fulfilling. And you have my admiration, and I know you have the gratitude, although not always expressed as well as it should be, by all of the people that are sitting on the floor today. So congratulations to all of the families, friends, and especially the parents of the graduates of Missouri State University. I will tell you, too, that the real reward will come even a few more years. If you don't have children that are older, they actually begin listening to you again. It's a miracle. Now to the graduates. For the last 2 decades of your life has been laid out. Preschool, elementary school, high school, college. You had a path. You had a roadmap. But now, you move into uncharted territory. And you may not even have a plan. You're not going to have a coach or a professor there every day or every other day or a couple of times a week to tell you to do your best. In an effort to keep it simple and keep it short, I'm going to give you my top 5 list. I know this could be very boring. Some senior citizen up here preaching to you. But know that these things are important to me, not because I'm a genius, but because I've been a failure many, many times. These lessons come from mistakes. They don't come from successes. So I hope that I can at least soften a critical moment in your life by telling you the top 5 things that I've taken away from my many failures and mistakes in my life. First, don't let your degree get in the way. Now, what do I mean by that? You know, you got a degree in accounting, so that means you have to be an accountant. No, it doesn't. Maybe you're destined to run one of the most powerful and impactful not-for-profits, changing the world in some important way. Who knows? You may end up with a law degree and, like the president of this fantastic university, decide that you don't want to be a lawyer anymore and you're going to run a university. You should not decide that your life is going to be all about the specific degree you found, because success is not what you own. Success is loving what you do. Wealth is looking forward to every day. That when your feet hit the ground in the morning, you can't wait to get at it. Wealth is not 2 homes and a swimming pool, if you're counting the days to retirement. So love what you do. More importantly than what your degree is, find that not just doesn't feed your family, but that also feeds your soul. Confidence matters. It really matters. So if you don't feel like you're confident, then there's one prescription I have for you. Take risks. Take risks. If you take a risk and it turns out well, you're going to have more confidence. If you take a risk and it doesn't turn out well, you'll learn from it, and the next risk you take will turn out better. I will tell you a true story. I was a young assistant prosecutor. I was the only woman in the prosecutor's office in Kansas City, and this was in the late 70s. And I was a gunner. I wanted big trials. And so I kept banging the door of the boss, saying, when am I going to get something besides burglaries? I want a homicide. Give me a homicide. So one day, I look up, and he's standing in the door of my office, and he says, Claire, we're afraid we're going to lose a witness on this case, and it's set for trial tomorrow, and the lawyer that is handling it, the prosecutor, is sick. You want the file. My heart went to the floor. He was handing me a homicide trial that was going to begin the next day. And he said, you don't have to take this case, Claire. You can, this is really asking a lot. You've never done one of these. You do not have to take it. And at that moment, everything in me said, I don't want to do this. Please don't make me do this. This is way too scary. But there was a little voice that said, you asked for it. And so I took the file. I stayed up all night preparing. We were to begin picking a jury on a Thursday, and the trial was to begin on Monday. I worked as hard as I've ever worked in my life through that weekend. And the following week, we convicted a murderer and put him in prison for many, many decades. And you know what that did? It gave me confidence. And so that risk turned into a very important reward in my career. Reach out. And this is a big one right now. You know what's happening? We're just talking to people we agree with. If you watch Fox News, watch MSNBC for a little while. If you watch MSNBC, watch Fox News for a little while. If you think you've got somebody down the hall where you work that you can't agree with on anything, ask them to go to lunch. Find people you disagree with. If we stay in our bubbles, because we can now, right? We can, through social media, you can only talk to people who agree with you. You can only seek out people who have the same opinion of the world that you have. But if we continue to do that, we're never going to find common ground on anything. So reach out, get beyond your bubble. Talk to someone who looks different than you, acts different than you, and believes different than you. It will make you a stronger person, and frankly, it will make you certainly happier. Now, this is one that's really near and dear to me as a parent and a grandmother. Old-fashioned communication. Can I have some head nodding among the people that are not in robes today? I finally had to tell my kids I will not respond to the following: PLS, SND with a little money bag. I have to hear your voice if you want money. I have to hear how you sound. I have to have a conversation with you. You guys, typing LOL is not laughing out loud. It's not the same. When you laugh out loud, something happens physiologically in your body. You feel better. You have a better outlook on the day. We have got to be careful, because I know how fast you can type. And I know how addictive Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook and Twitter, all of that can be. But if we quit having conversations, so the next time you want to communicate with somebody that you really care about, actually use your fingers to dial the phone and have a real live conversation. I think you'll be surprised how that feeds your soul. Finally, most importantly, treasure your family, work hard, and don't lose the friends you've made thus far in your lives. To this day, when I have a crisis in my life, when I feel so low I don't think I can go on another minute, when someone near to me has died or is critically ill, I can still pick up the phone and call the woman I met when I moved in the dorm my freshman year in college. I know all about her family. She knows all about mine. Even though we've not lived in the same community ever in our lives after college, we have stayed in touch. Work at it. Treasure these people. They are the ones that will ground you when you're flying high, and they're the ones that will lift you up when you feel terrible. So let me tell you my favorite story about how your family can ground you. And this is a true story. When I was the elected prosecutor in Kansas City, I was really, kind of cocky about it. I thought I was really a big deal. So when my son, who was in the second grade, said to me, "Mom, I'm supposed to write down about what you do during the day," I puffed up and I said, "Well, Austin, I am the #1 prosecutor in Kansas City. And you know what a prosecutor is? A prosecutor is the person who takes the evidence from the police and makes sure that people who have done terrible things go to prison, put them in jail. So your mom is the one who's putting bad guys in prison. I am the best prosecutor, the most powerful prosecutor, the most important prosecutor in Kansas City." I saw him, kind of thinking about that, and about 3 weeks later, I get a sealed envelope from his teacher in his backpack. Those could go either way, right? You're always a little nervous about opening the sealed envelope from the teacher. I opened the envelope, and the teacher had put a note to it. She said, "I thought you might want to keep this one for your scrapbook." And there on the Big Chief tablet, it said across the top, "What my mom does during the day." And it said, "My mother is the best prostitute in Kansas City." Your family will ground you. So there you have it. Don't let your degree get in the way. Find what you love. Don't underestimate the power of confidence and how important it is to take risks in order to gain that confidence. Reach outside your circle. Push that envelope towards people that you think you have nothing in common with. Don't forget to really laugh out loud. And treasure your family and work at old friendships. And finally, remember that nobody wants to hang out with somebody who's negative or bitter or angry. Nobody wants to hang out with someone who is just sure things are going to go wrong. People want to hang out with optimists. People want to hang out and be with and work for people who have a positive attitude, who see the possibilities instead of the dangers. Pessimists are no fun. Harry Truman, I'm a fangirl. Harry Truman said, "A pessimist is one who makes difficulties out of his opportunities, and an optimist is one who makes opportunities out of his difficulties." Be brave out there. Be true to yourself. Love yourself and love those who care for you. And remember, not only does your family need you, so does your community and your country. God bless you, congratulations, and it's terrific to see all of you moving towards the next step in life. Thank you very much.